Welcome back to the Logic Bank. So I hope you haven't been missing me too much. I certainly have been missing the community that Rise of Kingdoms used to give me. I've been trying desperately to find a new game, and I found Hearthstone, the Blizzard trading card game, which was brilliant for a while, but it's I'm years behind in its progress. Um, I feel it is very much a free-to-play game, but it's going to take me a long time to grind and catch up in some ways. So, what I have found though is a game that I used to play over 20 years ago. This is the first game I ever played multiplayer online over dial-up, if you can believe it, 56k. It's a game called Kohan, Ariam's Gift, and I just wanted to show you guys because this is what I'm into at the moment. This is what I'm going to try and get some multiplayer games going, but it's not easy. I've joined a few Discords, and I'm hoping there is a tiny community out there somewhere that still plays this game, and I hope to find them. And maybe I will share if I'm able to get some multiplayer games of this. Unfortunately, this game, though, no longer is supported by GameSpy, but there are ways to still play it multiplayer. But you need somebody with a bit of computer know-how to share their IP and host. Anyhow, let's have a little look at it though. So there are 3 factions. So you can play, there are 4 factions even. So you can play as, all of them have infantry and cavalry as you would expect, and archers. The range combat is proper range combat, not like we had in Rise of Kingdoms. There is a city building element. You see I've just put my city to the 2nd stage, or it has 4 levels which you can grow through. The resource management in this game is not done by collecting mana, stone and wood. You simply have a plus or a negative. If you're in the negative though, it costs you gold, and gold is the only resource which does collect over time like we're used to in Rise of Kingdoms. Or if you see here, I've just changed the formation of my settlers. There are 4 formations to choose from in this game, which change how your march works. The march has can either have a generic commander, or as you can see, I've got a hero there which I've summoned. The heroes have, like Rise of Kingdoms, have initially a weaker skill and some passive buffs, but as you level them through fighting, they of course get more skills and more passive buffs and become stronger, as they do in Rise of Kingdoms. You have really 2 choices in the game though. As you say, you have a limit. You see top right there, a limit of how many companies you can have, again like Rise of Kingdoms, but this can be increased by settling more villages or increasing the size of your initial village. I'm playing Council here, and Council are the Archer Nation. They have their elites, or their tier 5, or their elite unit is of course archers. They also have crossbowmen, which the other factions don't have. But the other factions can get crossbowmen if they of course capture a council city, like that village there. Now, if you see there, I'm doing waypoints to help with scouting. So the scouting is very different. You can just set waypoints and off your scouts go. Now, if you notice, the units when they first appear only have 1 unit, and they need to heal up. So healing in this game is done by being within the zone of control or the zone of supply of one of your cities. So no spending resources or use of hospitals. You just need to be near one of your cities and your march will heal up. Unless, of course, they all die in combat, which is bad. Now, in a bit, we will see a bit of combat. Now, can you see how I'm just setting waypoints for my scouts? So they're going to run around the map and try and find me some places. I've put the speed of this game up to 200, just so that it's a little more interesting watch, a bit quicker. So sorry you're just seeing a blank screen now, but that's me setting the waypoints for my scout. And then I'm going to put him back into supply in case he gets a little hurt on the way. Now, do you see here by that gold? Do you see the dark coloured green? That means it's a zone of control of another city, which might be neutral. So instead of sanctums and altars, you have neutral cities which you need to go out and capture. That's what you fight over in this game. Unlike Rise of Kingdoms, though, no time. As soon as you found them, you can take them. Oh, now notice this. Defense is 12 when I'm not in the woods. Defense goes up to 16 when I'm in cover. So you don't disappear in cover, but it does give you an advantage in your defense. So let's take this city. Now I've set my commander to engage because he's a melee commander. So I just some random barbarians trying to attack one of my cities. I don't know where my scout's gone, but anyhow. So I've put my commander to melee, and as he kills units, he will gain experience and, I say, gain more skills. Now you notice my scouts only have 4 units because I left the support slots free, where my dragoons have the full 6. Now that's good because in combat, as you lose units within your horses, within your unit, you lose morale. If you lose too much morale, you will then your units will then run away and try and survive. Now what I'm doing here is something called team stealing. This is illegal. So I went behind the military and tried to take the city with my scouts. That is cheating, and I was just demonstrating how not to play. Although you can do that, that is cheating, or called team stealing. Town stealing. Now, do you see, instead of watchtowers, though, you can build walls on your cities and have watchtowers, and they will have more militia. Or you can build a separate structure next to a city if you wanted the equivalent to watchtowers. But instead, city defences, though, are militia. So they have a couple of units inside them that will run out and fight, like you saw when I took that city there. Now, as you see, I'm building... Oh, there we are. I'm getting some engineers, and these engineers will be able to repair this building. Now, do you see there's some mines? Again, like Rise of Kingdoms, there are mine nodes you can mine. These, of course, though, are just give you a static plus. So you see I'm minus 4 stone at the moment. That's costing me 4 gold. So you can go into the minuses, but it will reduce your income. My income's 31 at the moment. But the game is a balancing act where you want your income to go up, but you also need to add troops, because if you don't add troops fast enough, you may of course be attacked whilst you're trying to gain more gold. There we are. I can see there's a zone of control here. I found the city, but I'm being attacked. My scouts are in trouble, but I've retreated them. Notice though, I can't control the individual scouts in combat. They just go off and do what they want. All I can do at this point is retreat. See how I put my scouts around the back of them? So if those... oh dear, my scouts have died. But if you had... you can use your scouts, of course, to run around the back and attack support units of the units when they've got support units on them, like mages or fire or healers. Now, of course, interesting to know with the formations, of course... The faster, if you pick one of the fast formations, you lose battle ability. So if you usually hit for 20 and you've gone the maximum speed, you hit for like 2. But of course, if you go into the formation where you attack, you're 100% effective. You're very slow, but you hit for 100. Here we are now. As this is, I'm going to build a mine. Am I? Oh, here we are. Now there's a watchtower to show you. So if you want to increase the defences of a city, you have to build these little watchtowers, which I seem to be struggling with. Here we go. There we are. The red tower. Let's build that, because this is on the front line. I'm playing easy, but just to show you how it works. Right, let's try and attack this one. Now, this is going to be interesting because, of course, we're used to there being counters for different units. The counter for horses, though, of course, is pikemen. And that happens to be what it protects this. So I'm awakened. I've got 67 experience. That's going well. He's set to a gauge. So I'm going to attack this little city. Oh dear, some of my horses have gone missing. And if I press on one of those pikemen in a minute, I think they have +5 to attack in cavalry. So, yeah, there we are. +5 to attack in cavalry. Now, the balance of this game has been done by the community, not by the developers. The new commanders to this game have been done by the community, not by the developers. So there's no power creep in the commanders or the newer commanders. They've been done through community patches. A lot of them have just been taken out of the single player campaign and given some stats. Some of the commanders may feel a lot more powerful than others. Certainly the melee ones are harder to get experience levels up, but if you can get their experience levels up, they become very powerful. But of course you've got healers, you've got mages that at first seem a lot more useful, but everything is quite well balanced. You can be unlucky with your commanders. Some do feel much more powerful, but they just have a more broader use. So here we are, I'm sending 4 pikemen in and my horses, and let's try and finish this game. So he's got a lot of militia because do you see how he's put walls on his little village? So, he's also got a whole lot of archers, so I'm getting rather badly beaten up there. Oh dear. Now do you see, my dragoon unit has survived. Because one of them survived, they can fully heal up. If they kill all the horses, you would have to remake them again. So he's just going to grab that. Alright, so I'm just grabbing a whole load of pikemen, and I'm planning obviously to go back in again. But I think this all goes wrong. Yep, there you are. Some of the pikemen died to a layer, or like the barbarians or the PvE element of the game. Because the PvE element sometimes send people out to attack. I think I'm about to lose my dragoons. This is all very bad. Now here, I'm going to press on this, and I pressed the wrong button. Well, I meant to press delete. Now do you see? Oh, see the zone of control's gone, and I can no longer delete it because the military are out. But if the military go back in, I can delete that because it's right at the front there, and so I feel I'm going to lose it, so I'm going to go on it, delete it, stop them taking it. So nice tactics there. Let's go back and heal up. Now, honestly, I can't tell you, this game 4v4 is absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to resign this one. I think I've shown you some of the features of that. But just imagine, let's do a 4v4. So let's just pick a whole load of random AIs. And I've got to admit, the AIs aren't terrible. Of course, though, they don't gather up troops like they should to attack, but they are not bad at all. So let's go on to a much bigger map. So 4 on that team, 4 on this team. I'd love to play this game with some of you guys. If you can imagine, I know that Rise of Kingdoms did try to put morale into one of the mini games, and I don't feel it really worked, or the mechanics of how it worked, I don't know. I don't think it really worked. Where the morale very much works in this game. I don't know if you saw when I was getting I didn't go through the different units, but there are siege units, of course, like you have siege units in Rise of Kingdoms, and they of course take cities very quickly. Unlike Rise of Kingdoms, though, if you conquer a city, it's then yours. So important to really hold on to your front line. I say, oh look, I've got 2 commanders now. They cost 50 to open. And so you can disband them. If you disband a commander, you can then use him again with the same experience. But if he dies, you lose the experience and he goes back to 0. There are elite troops. So here we are. Look at the size of the map now. And I've got 3 allies. And then you find out, have a little sweep around the map. That's the Seer, who are the undead. Now they are very interesting. That's the end of the video. They are very interesting because, of course, they reduce damage from archers. Thanks for watching.